Have you ever tried your best to follow the health advice everyone keeps repeating, only to feel like your body is still slipping away? Little by little, you wake up, go through your routine, do what you think is right, but deep down, something feels off. Your energy isn't the same. Your sleep is strange, and sometimes you wonder, is this just aging, or is something I'm doing actually making it worse? You're not imagining things, and you're definitely not alone. Many people over 60 feel exactly this way. They've been told they're doing all the right things, yet their bodies keep sending signals that something's not working. The worst part, these habits are praised everywhere. Doctors, magazines, even friends say they're good for you. But not everything labeled healthy is right for your body, especially after 60. It's confusing. It's frustrating. But here's the truth, it's not your fault, and it's not too late. Because life after 60 can still be strong, clear, and joyful. You just need to know what truly supports your health at this stage and what might be quietly holding you back. Sometimes, the smallest adjustments in your daily routine can create the biggest shifts in how you feel. In today's video, we're going to explore a few daily habits that seem healthy on the surface, but may actually be working against you. These habits are simple, familiar, and often praised, yet the science behind them tells a different story. If you stay with me until the end, you'll walk away with a clearer picture of what your body truly needs after 60 and a practical path to protect your strength, energy, and independence for years to come. And make sure you don't miss the final habit because it might be the most misleading advice seniors have been given in decades. So if you're ready to feel better, think clearer, and move through your days with more confidence, let's begin with the first one. Habit number 1, walking is enough. The lie seniors still believe you've heard it for years. Just go for a walk every day and you'll stay healthy. It's comforting advice. It's easy to follow. And for many people over 60, it becomes their go-to solution for staying active. After all, it gets the blood flowing, clears the mind, and doesn't feel too hard on the joints. But here's the truth, no one tells you walking alone is not enough to keep your body strong after 60. The problem is, walking may keep you moving, but it doesn't stop what's silently happening beneath the surface. After 60, your body naturally begins to lose muscle and bone density every year. If you don't actively challenge your muscles, they slowly shrink. And here's the danger, losing muscle after 60 doesn't just make you weaker, it puts your entire independence at risk. When muscle mass drops too low, even simple things like getting up from a chair, carrying groceries, or catching your balance after a small stumble become harder. That's when injuries happen. That's when people stop driving, stop going out, stop living the way they used to. It also slows down your metabolism, which makes it easier to gain fat even when you're eating the same. And studies have shown that lower muscle mass in older adults is linked to weaker immune systems, longer recovery times when sick, and even higher risk of death from common illnesses. Think of your body like a house that's been standing for decades. On the outside, everything might look fine. The walls are still upright, the window's still open, but underneath the beams are softening, the joints are loosening, and the whole structure is getting fragile. Walking is like sweeping the floor and cleaning the windows. It keeps the surface fresh. But what you really need is to reinforce the frame. And here's what the science says. This isn't just theory, it's been tested. In a study published in the Journal of Gerontology, researchers followed 249 adults over 65 years old. They split them into two groups. One group walked 30 minutes daily, while the other did basic strength training twice a week, just body weight exercises and resistance bands. After 1 year, the strength training group maintained significantly more muscle, improved their balance, and reduced their risk of falling by over 30%. The walking-only group, they still lost muscle and showed no real gains in strength. The researchers concluded clearly, walking alone is not sufficient to prevent age-related decline in strength and stability. So what should you do instead? You don't need to lift heavy weights or join a fancy gym. Just begin with movements that gently wake your muscles up again. Start by sitting down and standing up from a chair slowly, with control 10 times in a row. This simple motion helps your legs, hips, and core come alive again. Then, try standing behind that same chair and holding it for balance while doing slow mini squats, or stand on one leg for 10 seconds at a time to retrain your balance. Another great option is wall push-ups. Stand a few feet from a wall, place your palms flat, and slowly press in and out. You're not building big muscles, you're telling your body, we still need strength here. You can also use water bottles as light dumbbells, lifting them carefully while seated or standing. And if you want something more fun, try resistance bands. They're affordable, safe, and perfect for at-home use. Just pulling them apart gently works your arms, chest, and back more than most people expect. The key is consistency, not intensity. 2 or 3 short sessions a week, just 15 to 20 minutes, is enough to maintain and even rebuild lost muscle. And if you're feeling stiff or scared to start, begin with chair-based exercises only. Even small efforts matter. The body is listening all the time. Think of it like tending to the frame of a house. You don't have to rebuild everything overnight. You just need to check the weak spots, reinforce what matters, and keep showing up even with a small hammer. Over time, strength returns, and with it, stability, confidence, and independence. Now that we've cleared up that common myth, let's move to another habit that sounds helpful, but might be quietly damaging your health from the inside out. Habit number 2, taking multivitamins every day, just to be safe. It sounds responsible. It sounds smart. And for many people over 60, it feels like the safest thing to do. Take a multivitamin every day just in case. You walk into any pharmacy, and there they are, entire shelves full of pills promising stronger bones, sharper memory, better energy. And the idea is simple. Even if your diet isn't perfect, a vitamin will cover the gaps. No harm, right? Here's the problem. Multivitamins aren't always helpful, and in some cases, they can quietly make things worse. Your body after 60 doesn't absorb and process nutrients the way it used to. Taking extra of everything sounds safe in theory, but in reality, some vitamins build up in your system, and when they do, they can cause real harm. Over time, too much of certain vitamins and minerals like iron, vitamin A, or even calcium can strain your liver, damage your kidneys, or disrupt your heart rhythm. And you might not notice anything wrong until one day your doctor finds it in a blood test. Think of your body like a car that's run reliably for years. But now its oil system is more sensitive, its filters are older. When it was new, a little extra fluid might not have mattered, but now, too much of anything can clog the system. A healthy engine needs balance, not overload. The same goes for your body. After 60, more is not always better, especially when it comes to supplements. And here's where science backs it up. In one large-scale review published in the Annals of Internal Medicine, researchers analyzed results from dozens of trials involving over 450,000 adults. These weren't quick tests, they looked at real people over many years. The scientists compared people who took multivitamins daily with those who didn't, measuring outcomes like heart disease, cancer, and overall lifespan. The result, no significant benefit. People who took daily multivitamins didn't live longer, get sick less, or stay healthier. But it gets more serious. In a separate long-term study published in JAMA, researchers followed 38,772 older women for nearly 20 years. They tracked which supplements the women took, like multivitamins, iron, and copper, and monitored their health and mortality. Shockingly, the study found that some supplements were actually linked to a higher risk of early death, especially when taken without medical reason. The researchers concluded, in well-nourished populations, multivitamin supplementation provides no clear benefit and may even cause harm when used routinely without medical need. So what should you do instead? The first step is to stop treating vitamins like a daily safety net. Instead, treat them like tools used only when needed and for the right purpose. The most powerful tool, a blood test. Once a year, ask your doctor for a full nutrient panel. It will tell you exactly what you're missing and what you're getting too much of. From there, you can target just the nutrients you actually need. For example, if your vitamin D is low, supplementing can help your bones and mood. But if your iron is already high, taking more could damage your organs quietly over time. And don't forget that real food is still the best source of most nutrients. Leafy greens, colorful vegetables, fish, nuts, seeds, these are your daily defense system. Supplements should be the backup plan, not the foundation. If remembering to take pills is part of your routine, try swapping out the multivitamin for a hydration reminder, a gentle stretch, or even a few deep breaths. Those habits are free and far more nourishing than a capsule you might not need. If taking vitamins gives you peace of mind, that's okay, but don't let that peace cost you your health. The goal is clarity, not clutter, and your body will thank you for being precise. Now let's turn to another habit, one that feels cautious and protective, but may actually be dimming the very system you rely on to stay energized and resilient. Habit number 3, always avoiding the sun to protect your skin. We've been warned about it for years. Stay out of the sun. It causes wrinkles, dark spots, even cancer. And so, many people over 60 make it a habit to stay indoors, close the curtains, and avoid direct sunlight as much as possible. It feels smart. It feels safe. But here's the hidden truth. Avoiding sunlight entirely can quietly starve your body of one of its most essential nutrients, vitamin D. And vitamin D isn't just another item on your blood test. It plays a central role in keeping your bones strong, your immune system alert, and your mood balanced. Without enough sunlight, your body can't make the vitamin D it needs. And over time, that deficiency can cause your bones to weaken, your muscles to ache, and your energy to crash. Even more troubling, low vitamin D levels have been linked to depression, memory issues, and a higher risk of infections. All from something as simple as never stepping outside. Think of sunlight like a battery charger for your body. Your skin, when touched by the sun, starts a chain reaction that produces vitamin D, almost like turning on a hidden generator. But when that sunlight never comes, the generator stays off. It's like owning a solar-powered house, but keeping the blinds shut 24/7. You may not feel the effects at first, but over weeks and months, the energy runs low, the system gets sluggish, and parts begin to fail. And here's what science tells us. In one study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, researchers followed over 1,000 older adults aged 65 and up for nearly 6 years. They measured each person's vitamin D levels through regular blood tests and tracked their physical health, things like mobility, balance, and frequency of falls. The participants were grouped based on their vitamin D levels: normal, insufficient, and severely deficient. Over time, those with the lowest vitamin D were nearly twice as likely to suffer bone fractures, experience muscle weakness, or develop trouble walking without assistance. In another review published in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry, researchers examined data across multiple countries and found that over 60% of seniors had insufficient vitamin D, especially those who rarely went outdoors. The report linked low levels not just to bone issues, but also to depression, lower immunity, and even cognitive decline. The researchers warned that vitamin D deficiency in older adults is an under-recognized factor in both physical and mental health decline and may accelerate frailty when unaddressed. So how do you fix it without frying your skin in the sun? Simple. Start small. Just 10 to 20 minutes of morning sunlight on your arms, hands, or face 3 to 4 times per week is often enough to maintain healthy vitamin D levels. The key is to go out before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m. when the sunlight is gentler. You don't need to sunbathe or sweat. Just sit by a window, take a short walk, or drink your tea outside. If direct sun exposure isn't possible where you live, talk to your doctor about vitamin D3 supplements. Not multivitamins, just the specific dose you need, based on your blood work. And remember, it's not about tanning or sunbathing, it's about light. The same way plants reach toward the sun to stay alive. Your body does too, even if it's just a few minutes at a time. Now let's move to the next habit. One that feels healthy, light, and modern, but might actually be stripping your body of something it desperately needs to function at full power. Habit number 4, eating only low-fat or fat-free foods. It's one of the most common food rules people follow after 60. Avoid fat, choose low-fat, fat-free is better. You see it everywhere: low-fat yogurt, fat-free salad dressings, skim milk. And for years, we were told that fat is the enemy, that it clogs your arteries, makes you gain weight, and leads to heart problems. So it makes sense why so many seniors cut it out completely. But here's the truth. Your body after 60 still needs fat, especially the right kinds of fat to function properly. When you remove fat entirely from your diet, you're not just cutting calories, you're cutting off the raw materials your body uses to make hormones, protect your brain, and absorb critical vitamins like A, D, E, and K. Without enough fat, your body struggles to regulate mood, manage inflammation, and even keep your memory sharp. And worst of all, many low-fat and fat-free products replace fat with sugar, starches, or artificial thickeners, which can spike your blood sugar, inflame your body, and make you gain fat even faster. Think of healthy fat like the oil in your car engine. It keeps everything running smoothly, prevents grinding, and protects the system when things heat up. But if you drain the oil out, thinking it's cleaner, the engine doesn't run better, it breaks down faster. Your body is no different. Removing all fat might make your plate look healthier, but inside, the damage adds up. And science has been proving this for years. In a landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers followed over 85,000 women aged 50 to 79 as part of the Women's Health Initiative. They compared those on low-fat diets to those eating moderate, balanced fats. After nearly 8 years, the women on low-fat diets had no lower risk of heart disease, stroke, or cancer, and in some cases had higher rates of insulin resistance and weight gain. In another study from The Lancet, which followed 135,000 adults across 18 countries, researchers found that higher intake of healthy fats was associated with lower mortality, while extremely low-fat diets actually increased the risk of death. The researchers concluded a moderate intake of fats, especially unsaturated fats, is not only safe, but beneficial for long-term health outcomes. So what should you do instead? Start by shifting your thinking. Not all fat is bad, some fat is essential. Swap out processed, fat-free products for whole, nourishing options. Use olive oil instead of sugary dressings. Add slices of avocado to your salad. Include a handful of walnuts or almonds in your snack routine. Cook with fatty fish like salmon once or twice a week. It gives you omega-3s that protect your brain and reduce inflammation. And don't fear full-fat versions of real foods like whole milk yogurt, eggs, or natural cheese. These are nutrient-dense, satisfying, and far more stabilizing for your blood sugar than their low-fat, high-carb alternatives. If you're worried about cholesterol, talk with your doctor, but know this fat quality matters more than fat quantity. Let your meals fuel you, not frustrate your body. The goal is not to fear fat, but to feed yourself wisely. Now let's move to our final habit, perhaps the most misunderstood of them all. It's something people over 60 often do to take it easy, but it might actually be draining your life force without you even realizing it. Habit number 5, sleeping too much every day. You've probably heard this one too. Get as much sleep as you can. It's good for healing and recovery. And it's true, sleep is absolutely essential, especially as we age. But there's a hidden danger that few people talk about. Too much sleep, especially over 9 hours a night, can actually be a warning sign, or even a cause of declining health. Many seniors start sleeping longer, not because they need more rest, but because their bodies are slowing down. Their energy systems are off balance, or they've unknowingly entered a cycle of oversleeping and undermoving. The problem is that excessive sleep doesn't make you feel more rested. It often makes you feel more tired. When you stay in bed too long, your body's internal clock, the circadian rhythm, becomes disrupted. Hormones that regulate alertness, metabolism, and even digestion fall out of sync. You wake up groggy, drag through the day, and then end up lying in bed even longer the next night. It becomes a quiet spiral: less energy, less movement, more sleep, and even less energy. Think of your body like a battery-powered watch. If you stop wearing it and leave it sitting still, the battery doesn't last longer, it actually fades faster. Your body works the same way. It stays alive by being used. Staying horizontal for 10 hours a night may feel safe, but deep down, it may be slowing your mind, weakening your muscles, and draining your drive to live fully. And the science backs this up. In a major sleep study published in the journal Neurology, researchers tracked over 9,000 older adults across the US and Europe for more than 10 years. They found that those who regularly slept more than 9 hours per night had a significantly higher risk of cognitive decline and dementia, even more than those who slept less than 6. Another study published in JAMA Internal Medicine followed over 60,000 women aged 50 to 79. It revealed that women who slept longer than 9 hours a night had higher rates of cardiovascular disease and all-cause mortality, even when controlling for other health factors. The researchers warned long sleep duration is not inherently restorative and may reflect or contribute to underlying health risks, especially in older adults. So what should you do instead? Aim for quality, not quantity. Most older adults thrive with 7 to 8 hours of consistent, deep sleep per night. If you find yourself sleeping longer, ask yourself, is it because my body truly needs it, or because I've been inactive, depressed, or mentally drained? Build a gentle routine, go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, even on weekends. Get light exposure early in the morning. Open the windows, step outside, or just sit by natural light. Avoid long naps during the day if they make it harder to sleep at night. And most importantly, move your body. Even a short walk after meals can help reset your rhythm and build healthier sleep pressure. If you're still tired despite sleeping enough, it's a signal to look deeper, not to stay in bed longer. Your body doesn't need more hours of lying still. It needs better reasons to rise. Now that we've uncovered these 5 well-intended but harmful habits, let's wrap up with a few thoughts that might change how you approach your next decision about what's healthy. So now you know not every habit that's labeled healthy is actually good for you after 60. In fact, some of the most trusted advice we've followed for years: walk more, avoid the sun, sleep longer, eat fat-free, take vitamins just in case, can quietly backfire if we don't question it. But the good news is you don't need to start over. You just need to start smarter. A few small shifts, like adding a bit of strength training, stepping outside for morning light, or listening to what your body actually needs, can give you back the strength, clarity, and energy you thought was fading for good. You've made it this far. That means you care. And that tells me you're the kind of person who still has plenty of life left to live on your terms. If this video gave you even one insight that made you pause and think, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment below and tell me, which of these habits surprised you the most, and which one are you planning to change this week? If you found this helpful, it would mean a lot if you hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share this with someone you care about, someone who deserves to feel strong, sharp, and free at any age. And if you're ready to go deeper, check out the next video, where we reveal the hidden signs that your body may be aging faster than it should and what you can do to reverse them. Until then, stay curious, stay kind to your body, and keep walking forward.